Hey, man, what's going on, man? This is your host, Most Great, man. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment. And on today's topic, we are talking about how your silence speaks volumes. I know you all been watching the Papoose and Remy Ma situation. If you're not too familiar with it, Papoose is an artist out of New York, and so is Remy Ma. I think she's the more popular out of the two. And she did a bid. I think she was gone for about 8 years, Her and Fat Joe had a hit smash single that Lean Back, She had a couple of hits. She was running around with the Terror Squad. Anywho, she found herself in some trouble. And when she found herself in some trouble, Papoose held her down the whole time she was gone. You dig what I'm saying? They got kids involved, so it's kind of Mickey and tricky. But the catalyst of the story is she ended up cheating on this man with a battle rapper. And Papoose, it got messy, you know what I'm saying? It got ugly. And I guess she spilled something out into the media. Now he's spilled something out into the media in regards of, pretty much mudslinging, doing what politicians do. You did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. But anybody with an ounce of common sense would think to elect to not say anything at all. Sometimes your silence speaks volumes. You don't got to show up to every fight that you invited to. And plus, it's bigger than you, man. When the elephants fight, man, the grass get hurt, you dig? You got kids, you got little ones. And they don't need, the internet is forever, man. Y'all might be beefing, y'all might be into it right now, but hadn't it went that far, y'all could at least had a relationship to where y'all cordial for the kids. But since everything gets spilled over to the internet, now you got these people in this corner, these people over here in this corner, everybody chiming in on it, making it bigger than what it is. Because it's really not that deep. It ain't deeper than your child. You dig what I'm saying? Ain't nothing deeper than your bondage with your child. And that's why I say, your silence speaks volumes, because you don't always have to have the last word. In fact, you don't have to say words at all. You could just walk away. Sometimes walking away from a situation will hurt a person deeper than you can cut them, deeper than you can do any type of physical harm to a person, deeper than you can slander them and talk bad about them on the internet. Sometimes it's just best to let them, willow off into their own sorrows, man, because that's a lot of the times what it is, man. People be having things going on in their own mind, in their own brain, and they be having their own issues that they need to deal with, so they project that off onto you. Misery loves company, man. It's a corny little cliche, man, but that stuff be true, man. There's a lot of people who can't live without another companion, or they can't live without that drama and projecting that drama off onto the next man or next woman or whatever the case may be. But if you just be quiet and you just, leave out of that situation and let that house just burn down and crumble down to the ground, man, they'll eventually come back scurrying to you. You know what I'm saying? And you can make that decision on your own whether to let that person back into your life. 9 times out of 10, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, man. Let your silence speak for you. A wise man once said, man, nothing. A wise man once said nothing. So the reason why, it's relevant to this case is because, of course, like I stated earlier, these two individuals have a kid. And like I said, the internet is forever, man. That kid can go back and look at that, and see, and people going to be speaking on it and talking about that, for some time. You dig what I'm saying? It's then blew the internet up. It didn't caught fire, then grew legs. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm sure people on Remy's side, they in her ear talking about, oh, he a bum ass, you know what I'm saying? And they in his corner talking about she a bird ass, and things of that nature. You dig what I'm saying? Because you open up that door once you put it in the air and put it in the public. You dig what I'm saying? You don't hear Tom Brady, or you don't hear LeBron James, or you don't hear, I'm just naming off some successful people, right, that keep their relationships silent, even though it could be something going on behind closed doors, that's not for the public. That's not for you to disclose to the public, man. And being silent can help you in a lot of situations. I know a lot of people want to have the last word. A lot of people just can't not respond negatively to somebody putting out some BS or some, some nonsense about them. You dig what I'm saying? But what are you winning by engaging with a fool? When two clowns argue, it's hard to decipher which one, you know what I'm saying? When you argue with a clown, when you argue with a clown and you're a logical person, it's hard to figure out which one is the clown. Because you going back and forth with a clown. For what? Leave that shit alone, you feel me? For the kid's sake, leave it alone. Yeah, we know she might be a bird, you know what I'm saying? Or we don't know what is true, What she's saying about you could be true. What you're saying about her could be true. We don't know. We honestly don't care. Some people who do, but, for the most part, people don't care about your situation, man. They can give a less, man. They don't care about they're not going to put no food on your kid plate, man. F what we got to think about it, man. You got to think for you, yourself, and your family, and your situation. You dig what I'm saying? So my advice to Papoose, man, is, man, don't say nothing else about baby, man. Let her go on, man. You happy. You got Clarissa Shields, you know what I'm saying? You being successful. You putting out fire music. You say you used to write for her. I could hear where you used to write for her at, bro. On the Rendanil. I could hear all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best thing for you to do is nothing. Nothing. You happy. You in your happy space, man. Don't let nobody come in, man, and destroy that, man, because, that's what people like to do. People who don't got nothing really going on, ain't got nothing popping, ain't got no motion, they want to come in and wreck and destroy what you got. You ain't even got to have nothing. People could be just jealous of your aura. People could be jealous of your happiness. You dig? It don't have to be nothing material. It could be something internal, that glow that you got when you come around. But you kind of spoil it for yourself when you respond to the negativity. Because now you got this never-ending loop of negativity. And the only person going to be getting hurt by that is your little one. She's going to hurt the most from that. But hey, man, this is your host, Most the Great, Day Late Dollar Short News. Signing out, man.